What happens when a major bank goes after someone who's actually been paying their debt for years? Today, we're diving into Bank of America versus Deborah Hart, a case that exposes everything wrong with automated debt collection systems. We got a defendant who's reduced a crushing $21,000 debt down to just $7,000 through years of $250 monthly payments. But a bank still wants to throw her out of her payment plan. There's missing payments that aren't actually missing, bank statements that prove the bank is wrong, and a judge who's about to drop the hammer on corporate incompetence. This isn't just about money. It's about a regular person fighting a banking giant with nothing but receipts and determination. Buckle up, because what starts as a routine collections hearing turns into a masterclass in standing up to corporate bullying.
Bank of America versus Deborah J. Hart. Deborah Hart is here at the courthouse. Ms. Hart, I'm not afraid to have you come in the courtroom. It's a public courtroom, but we often use the conference room, which gives us the opportunity to put the parties in a separate video breakout room with the attorney if necessary. So that attorney in this case is attorney Natasha Dixit, who's here on behalf of Bank of America. I said this file is fat. It's an old paper file with a lot of history in it. And I set this hearing because there have been several repayment agreements, defaults on repayment agreement, another request for a repayment agreement, another default. The original debt in this case was substantial. It was north of $20,000. Defendant plaintiff filed a motion back in the spring to set aside the installment payment agreement, alleging that the debt is currently about $8,302.03. So I scheduled a hearing on March 4th, and the plaintiff didn't show up. So I denied their motion to set aside the installment payment. Then I got another one a month later.
Hold up. Let's break down what just happened. The judge just called out Bank of America for not showing up to their own hearing. They filed a motion to kick Hart out of her payment plan, then literally didn't bother to appear in court. That's peak corporate arrogance right there. But here's the kicker. They filed another motion just a month later. The judge mentions this file is fat. That's legal speak for this has been going on way too long. We're talking about a debt from years ago that Hart has been diligently paying down from over $20,000 to around $8,000. That's a $13,000 reduction through $250 monthly payments. Do the math. That's over 52 months of consistent payments. But apparently, being 2 payments behind is enough for Bank of America to try to blow up the entire agreement. The real question is, why is a multi-billion-dollar bank this aggressive over someone who's clearly trying to pay?
Defendant is behind by approximately 2 payments. But at this point, the arrearage is down to $7,072.03. So I set the matter for a hearing because it's very frustrating to set up a repayment agreement. She's 2 payments behind. They move to set it aside. They don't show up. A month later, they move to set it aside again, although it looks like payments have been made. Ms. Hart wrote a letter that we got on May 6th. I have since received another order, the same complaint. I am making a $250 a month payment that was ordered in July of 2019. I do not know what they want. So I'm appealing this motion. So I set it for a hearing. Ms. Dixit, what's the current status?
Yes, Judge. So the current status is, first of all, Judge, I wanted to start out by apologizing for the absence of last time. I had another attorney scheduled for this, but I think there was a mix-up and they did not appear for this, so I do apologize for that.
Did you catch that? The bank's attorney just admitted they screwed up by not showing up last time. There was a mix-up. Imagine if Deborah Hart tried that excuse. She'd be in default immediately. This double standard is exactly why people hate dealing with big banks. They can miss court dates with zero consequences. But if you're 2 payments behind on a 5-year payment plan, suddenly it's DEFCON 1. Notice how casually the attorney brushes off their absence. I had another attorney scheduled. Meanwhile, Hart has been physically mailing checks for years, keeping meticulous records, and showing up every single time. The power imbalance here is staggering. And watch what happens next. The attorney is about to claim Hart missed payments, but Hart came prepared with receipts. This is about to get really interesting because Hart brought something banks hate, actual evidence.
So Ms. Hart does have a consent judgment, and through that she's making payments of $250 per month. As of today, Judge, she is still 2 payments behind for April and May. I did look at what happened. So basically, the reason she is behind because what happened was there was a payment she made in January of 2023, and it did not go through. And I didn't see any payments made for September and November of 2023. With that said, Judge, I do want to work with her. I don't want to move to kind of set aside her payment arrangement. She does have a payment history. It just, we have a lot of files, Judge. So once they start falling behind 1 or 2 payments and, so on and so forth, we do, it is kind of like, automatic that we do request it set aside. So I do.
Right there. The attorney just admitted this is automatic. They're not even looking at individual cases, just robotically filing motions to destroy payment plans the moment someone falls slightly behind. We have a lot of files. That's their excuse for potentially making someone homeless over 2 payments out of hundreds? This is the corporate debt collection machine at its worst. No human judgment, no consideration of payment history, just automated legal harassment. And here's the infuriating part. They're now backtracking because they realize Hart has been a model debtor for years. The attorney suddenly wants to work with her after trying to blow up her agreement twice. This flip-flopping shows they never even reviewed the case properly before filing these motions. They're literally wasting the court's time with automated filings. But Hart's about to flip the script with actual proof that those missing payments aren't missing at all.
So if I understand it, she missed a payment in September of 23 and January, and so they didn't get paid. So each month she makes a payment, it's a month behind. So is that why she shows as not having paid April and May because of those back payments?
Exactly, Judge, because, it does fall. Yeah. So basically what happened was in January of 2023, she did make a payment, but it did not go through. Maybe it might have been, a funding issue, maybe not enough funds there. And I see that there was no payment made in September of 2023 and November of 2023. So all that combined, Judge, kind of just makes her further behind, basically. I would just ask Ms. Hart to kind of make those payments on time, and if you don't see that it has not gone through, if you can just call us if you have any questions about payments. So that is all, Judge. I do want to work with her, and I'm okay with her continuing this payment arrangement, but that's all I would ask.
Excuse me, Judge. Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
I gave you all that paperwork or all those payments and showed you that like in January, I made a January 2nd payment. That was for the December payment. And sometimes I have 2 payments in 1 month because I made.
Now, she says it was January 23 that was in arrears, not January 24.
This is where it gets good. Hart brought a stack of bank statements. The judge literally calls the file fat because Hart came prepared. She's got dated, organized proof of every single payment, and the bank is scrambling. Watch how the dynamic shifts. Suddenly it's not about whether Hart paid, but about the bank's inability to properly track payments. Hart mentioned something crucial. If she sends payments too early, the bank doesn't register them properly. Think about that. She's being punished for paying too soon. This is systematic incompetence on the bank's part. They have automated systems that can't handle early payments, then automatically file legal motions when their own systems fail. Hart has figured out she needs to send payments around the 21st to avoid their broken system. She's literally having to work around their failures while being threatened with legal action. Who else thinks the bank should be paying her for all this trouble?
Okay, well, I think you've got all of that. I've given you like the last 3 years
All
or
right.
so, when I was here the last time.
Well,
Yes, sometimes they're late, but I make them up. And I don't understand why funds don't go through because they do according to my bank. So I don't know where
I don't
that's
have
coming
anything
from.
from 20, well, it does appear you make the payment each month in 24, but she's claiming that there are some months that didn't get paid in 23.
Yes, but I lined those all up and dated them and checked them of when they did come through, when they did pay.
Well, I don't, oh, wait a minute, I do have 23, so let's look.
Yes, you got.
No, I have January 2nd of 2024 paid December's payment.
Right, but if you look back, I have all the payments through starting in 22, so I have, or 21, some of them.
You didn't give me that. All I have starts.
No, I did. The last time I was here, I brought a whole stack and they scanned them in. And
All right, well,
reviewed
let's see,
them.
the thing is so fat. Oh, all right, here it is. Here it is. They did. So it's your contention that you're not behind.
Correct. And when
Let's go through.
she said the payment didn't go through, well, according to all that statements, it did.
Judge, if I may add, to be very specific, so on the payment from January 3rd of 2023, that did go through in the amount of $250. I'm referring to the one from January 23rd of 2023. So she made 2 payments in January of 2023, apparently to make up for December 2022 payment. The one from January 3rd of 2023 did go through. It has been applied. The one I'm referring to is from January 23rd of 2023. In the amount of $250, that's the one that did not go through.
Well, it should be right in those records that he has. It went clear, so I don't know what the deal is.
I show a payment of January 24th for $250. I don't show a payment of January 3rd.
You're talking about this year, 24 or 23?
2023.
All right, because that would, I don't know, I had that all.
Oh, wait a minute. January 4th of 2023 is a $250 payment.
And then I believe I paid another one, January 26th or somewhere in there. I don't.
January 24th. There is a January 4th.
Yes, so the one was for
Deduction.
December, and then that was the catch up for January.
All right. So there's a dispute as to missed payments. Let's see if this goes up to September and November.
It will, you've got from 21.
There's a September 15th check of $250. There's an October 19th check of $250. There's a November 14th check of $250. So according to your records, you didn't miss September or November or January.
Boom. The judge just confirmed Hart has proof of the payments Bank of America claimed were missing. September, paid. November, paid. January, paid. This is a complete vindication of Hart's meticulous record keeping. The bank's attorney is now claiming a payment balance for insufficient funds, but Hart's bank statements show the money cleared. Someone is lying here, and it's not the person who brought receipts. The judge is clearly seeing through this corporate nonsense. Notice how the attorney keeps saying, "We couldn't process that." But Hart's bank shows the money left her account. Where did it go? This is exactly why you should always keep records when dealing with debt collectors. Hart's organization just saved her from being steamrolled by a banking giant. The judge's tone has completely shifted. She's now recognizing Hart as the responsible party here, while the bank looks incompetent at best, predatory at worst.
Correct. I am finding out though, sometimes if I send my payment too soon, that the next bill I get, it says that I missed this payment, so I don't know if someone's not paying attention. Or, so now I just send them close to the 21st if I can, because if I send them too early, they don't seem to register them.
All right. And this is an automatic withdrawal, or did you send a physical check?
No, I send a physical check, and those are all my bank statements that they went through. Bottom line is I am paying $250 a month.
It appears so. All right. The order to set aside the installment payment order is denied. It appears defendant is current. Ms. Dixit, I don't know if the staff they scanned all these in. We should have forwarded them to you. I don't know if you got them. But and then none of this is under oath, but what she purports to be her bank statements shows that there were regular deductions, including the months that you say weren't paid. So, and she has been making payments through 2024.
Yeah, Judge, I don't see that. The only thing, I can say is for the January 23 of 2023, it came back as insufficient funds. So, we couldn't process that any further. Now, if she does have something showing, I'm not sure what we can do. This is from September and November 2023.
It will ultimately go to the final balance. If she claims she paid $750 and you claim she didn't, there's going to be a dispute when we get to the end of this. But at this point, I'm not going to set aside the installment payment order.
I understand, Judge. So, I understand that, Judge. If we have received those documents, I can send it to our accounting department, and maybe there's something they can figure out.
Ms. Hart, I will forward all of your documents to Ms. Dixit's firm. In the meantime, though, the motion to set aside installment payments is denied. In fact, they're not even really asking for it now. But it looks like you've got a years-long history of making these payments. You've reduced this debt from $21,000 to $7,000 by about 2/3. $250 a month takes a long time to pay off a $20,000 debt, but you've been making diligent payments.
This is the moment that makes it all worth it. The judge just publicly acknowledged Hart's years of diligent payments. From $21,000 down to $7,000, that's a 67% reduction through sheer determination and consistency. The judge literally says it takes a long time to pay off a $20,000 debt, acknowledging the marathon Hart has been running, while Bank of America tries to trip her at the finish line. This is more than just a legal victory. It's moral vindication. The judge sees what's really happening here. A responsible person doing everything right while a corporate giant tries to squeeze her with technicalities and automated harassment. The motion is denied. Hart keeps her payment plan, and Bank of America gets nothing but embarrassment. But here's the real question. How many other people are getting crushed by these automated systems without the documentation to fight back? Hart won because she kept everything. That's the lesson here.
So I set this for a hearing to get everybody here in the same place at the same time. And we did accomplish what we needed to. All right. Does anybody have any questions?
No.
No, just
Ms. Hart, if you go out to the counter, I'll give you a copy of that order, and I will see that your documents get sent to the plaintiff.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You're good to go.
Thank you.
Let's recap this incredible case. Deborah Hart, facing Bank of America's attempt to destroy her payment agreement, just scored a massive victory through preparation and persistence. Despite Bank of America claiming she missed payments in September 2023, November 2023, and January 2023, Hart's meticulous bank records proved every payment was made. The judge denied the bank's motion to set aside the installment agreement, recognizing Hart's reduction of the debt from $21,000 to approximately $7,000 through consistent $250 monthly payments since 2019. The case exposes critical flaws in automated debt collection systems, where banks file legal motions without proper review, potentially destroying lives over computer errors. Hart's victory shows the importance of keeping detailed financial records and standing up to corporate intimidation. If you found this David versus Goliath story as inspiring as we did, smash that like button right now. Share this video with anyone dealing with debt collectors. It could literally save them. And if you want more courtroom breakdowns where regular people take on corporate giants, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Drop a comment below. Have you ever had to fight incorrect charges from a big bank? Your story matters, and we read every single comment. Until next time, remember, always keep your receipts.